Good evening. This is the video newsletter for Buy Sell Short for Tuesday, December 28th. Another fantastic day for our plays. Everything just coming together perfectly. Biotech stocks were again on fire. But let's jump into the indice charts and then we can jump into the stock charts. And we've got a crap load of stock plays today. So let's get started here. We're looking at the Dow 15-minute chart. And as you can see, over the last 2 weeks, we've been slowly moving higher on the 15-minute chart, riding that 200-day moving average in this time frame slowly higher. This is the perfect environment for small cap stocks. You don't want the market going up big. You don't want the market going down big. You want slow and steady or minimal gains or minimal losses, and that is the perfect environment for speculation, and that is what we've been seeing over the last few days, especially over the last couple of days in biotech stocks. Right now, support on the 15-minute chart is the 11,500-ish area. Looking at the daily chart, you can see we continue to slowly move higher. If we did get a retrace, we've got rock solid support just below at the 20-day exponential at 11,437. One positive to note, US dollar, even though the market's slowly been moving up over the last few days with the dollar moving higher, dollar got that break below the 20-day exponential today. So we could see a nice little sell-off on the dollar into year end, which would be very, very good. If you can see on the daily chart here on the dollar, stochastics breaking down through 80. We got to move through the 20-day exponential on the downside. So, a little 2 to 5% move down in the dollar over the next few days should be very, very nice for the overall market. SMH volume, it seems every day I talk to you about the SMH volume gets lower and lower each day, and we continue to ride that 20-day exponential and the uptrend line. We got a nice little pop off the lows today on the SMH. So again, what we are looking for on the SMH probably in the next couple of days, week max, is a massive volume spike. We want to see that an upside spike, and if we see an upside spike on volume, and we're looking at volume over 10 million shares as our trigger, that will be the signal to the market that the market is going to go to new highs near term. So we're going to continue to monitor the SMH with a volume trigger, 10 million on the upside, and we're off to the races. Let's jump into stock plays now, however. NVGN, this was a low volume play we jumped into yesterday on Biotech Mania at 50 cents. Our targets were 60 and 70 cents. Out of the blue today, this stock just went kaboom. Blew through 60 cents, traded as high as 71 cents, hit all our target on low volume. You cannot ask for anything better than that. I probably need to do a video on how to find these plays, but we'll do that once the market starts to slow down. So a monster winner for us there. APPY, this is one we've been sitting in for the last 3-4 days waiting for a pop. We got that pop today, and boy, did it pop. Traded as high as 77 cents. 50% gain from our call there a few days ago. Our upside target, we were looking for 60 cents and 70 cents plus on this one. This one blew through all our targets on heavy volumes. Cannot ask for anything better than that. Targets hit, you know the rule. We get to our target, you sell partial positions, and you roll it higher. Two fat gains there today on Biotech Mania. ZBB, what is it now? We've been playing this one for the last 3 weeks, and now we're looking at a 60% gain on this one, I believe, over the last 3 weeks. We got another breakout on ZBB today on very decent volume. Very likely we see this one push to the 1+ area over the next day or two. Very nice chart. Sector is on fire, which is why we added to positions on this one a few days ago at 80 cents. And here we are sitting another 15% higher from that entry. Just very, very nice. Same sort of stair-stepping move that we got off MZZ over the last couple of months. Now, speaking of these two, haven't mentioned it for a couple of days. PKT slowly woke up today, and volume has started to build. And we actually got we got a breakout close on this one today. And for the first time in who knows how long, the specialist didn't dick with the stock at the close. So that could be a signal that we're about to see this one go on a really big move. And as I've been saying in the chat room, this is a stock that can do very, very well in January, in my opinion. The sector is perfect. The timing is right. The chart is right. I think this is a stock that is really going to surprise traders in 2011. And this is the kind of stock that can put a move in like we saw on MZZ and ZBB. Remember, CBB was at PKT's price 2 weeks ago. So it can be done. And I think this is the next big Amex move. Remember, we've got CES in a week, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. Technology stocks tend to do very, very well going into that release or into that conference. So PKT engine starting to warm up here. As Dick Vitale says, warm up the bus, baby! Speaking of CES plays, we've got TRID. These guys are having a presentation at CES next week. You don't go to the biggest consumer electronics show in the world, have a presentation, and not have new news or a new product to release. This one should be a darling into the CES show. The chart has just been waiting for an excuse to warm up, and I think it's about time it's going to do that. We've been coiling around the 20-day exponential. RSI is breaking up through the 50 level. We got stochastics going up through 50. So the indicators are saying it's a go here. Confirmation, break over the 50-day moving average at 190. But I'm thinking we're going to see TRID trading in the twos in the next few days. Hopefully it hangs out a couple more days so we can continue to build our positions in this one. Biotech stocks. Another one, CAPS. Nice little follow through on this one today from when we got into it last Thursday. Like the fact this was setting up as a biotech bouncer play, and usually on biotech bouncer plays, you see them go on really big moves on week 3. It's been 2 weeks since the bounce, but it's starting that bounce early. And as I mentioned when we jumped into this one, 50 cents a few days ago, the data news that drove this one down 60% was not that bad. The drug data was only a subset. It wasn't bad. What happened was you had a lot of traders get stuck on that little pump right before the data came out, and with tax loss selling and shorts moving in, splat. Their loss, our gain, and I'm thinking we're going to see this one make a move to the 20-day exponential over the next few days. Our other biotech play, GNVC, that does very well into January. We got 62 cents on this one yesterday. And then over the last day or two, traders, what's happening is so many stocks are moving right now that you have a lot of traders trying to jump in and out and time the perfect moves. You got market makers who know that's going on. And you've got GNVC, that is a stock that can be pretty volatile. So we got a little shakeout on this one, all the way back down to the 8-day moving average. Not really that concerned. I think we're going to see a snapback move on this one. And, January is a whole different beast. And the longer this rally continues, you're going to see traders start to revisit these stocks that have moved. WEST. We've been consolidating now for the last week. A couple of times today, this one looked like it was going to bust out. We had a large bidder show up on level 2. We got prints as high as 52.5 cents. Then they would disappear, move back down. Remember, in a lot of these stocks, we still have a little bit of tax loss selling left. Most of it's done, but you still got some, moron traders who haven't booked their losses yet. And, of course, are going to miss the big moves in these stocks. But, again, as I said, their loss, our gain. This one consolidating nicely. We should see WEST go on a secondary run really, really soon. And one other thing I mentioned in the chat room, typically when you see biotech stocks explode, as we have seen over the last few days, it starts to build a mania in small cap land, and this is small cap season. These next couple of weeks, small caps do extremely well into the middle of January. Biotech stocks have lit that candle, and we're going to start seeing that speculation momentum chasing, that's been happening in these stocks spread out into other sectors in small cap land, which is why we've started to push out into other small cap stocks. We got our fat gains in the bios, we're sitting in the laggard bios, and we're waiting for the heat to hit the other sectors. Speaking of other sectors due for some heat, DEJ, Du Jour Enterprises, small cap oil, nice little bounce on this one today off the lows. These guys completed a financing a few days ago at 38 cents, but their peers, oil is over $91 a barrel, and one by one, these little small oil plays have been going kaboom. Today's big kaboomer was, of course, CFW. Just went boom on very heavy volume. So that is why we're jumping into DEJ here. 33 cents and under. We're looking for a move at least to 38 cents on this one. And we've got our rock solid support here at 29 cents. They got their financing. The sector is starting to move. Great candidate for a January popper. And if we, actually this is CFJ's chart. We're going to take a look at the 1 year chart for DEJ. I can't even say that stock right. Here we have it. It's been beaten down over the last month. We got financing, nice volume over the last few days. This is a stock that can easily see a move like these other small cap oil stocks to the 40-cent area. And remember, there's not a whole lot of these stocks left in the basement. And one by one, traders are going to go after them. PTEK. This is a stock we called a couple of weeks ago on the poker gambling bill. It's been sort of sleeping over the last week, but as you can see, it's built a very nice base today over the last month. Very nice volume pop on this one. 80 cents is the light the candle area on this one. RSI finally peaked up above the 50 level. We got a MACD cross a few days ago. Stochastics broke up through 50. So a break of 80 cents on this one, and we could see a very fast move to $1 plus. As you can see earlier, a couple of months ago, when this one broke 80, it ran over to the ones really, really easy. And it looks like it's going to do that again. Now, our other play on this, and another small cap play, we're spreading out from the biotech plays. EGHT, gambling stock, beaten down over the last few days. This is one that likes to go on moves with PTEK. We jumped into this one today. Small little position, 33, 34 cents. Target 38, 40 cents plus, depending on the volume and the momentum that comes in. We got a nice little volume bottom on it today, which is really what we want to see. A stock come down and then a nice white candle bottom. And then if we look down at stochastics, hey, we're down at 20. This is the area we like to buy bottomed out stocks. Another beaten down play, ORS, China cell phone player. They actually make money, if you can believe it. They made like $100,000 profit in the most recent quarter. Beaten down. As you can see, just beaten down throughout this year. We've got the 200-day moving average sitting up there at 26 cents. From 17 cents to 26 cents, 9 cents, 60% gain. Not too shabby, especially when we see traders just getting a little feverish with regards to cheap under 50-cent stocks. Definitely one if we get volume over, what do we have today on ORS? 342,000. This one probably needs about 500, 750,000 shares, and it's off to the races. And I'd be surprised if we don't see some follow through to the upside tomorrow. Traders are starting to hunt for these plays. Quick mention, SNT, kind of a frustrating biotech play, but given the action over the last couple of days, obvious tax selling in this stock right now. Breakout confirmation is 32 cents. We're sitting in this one, waiting for it to explode. ANPI, this was another garbage biotech stock. This is one we jumped into yesterday in the chat room early at 25 cents on that breakthrough 25 cents. It hit 55 cents today. 100% move in a day. And this one's got massive debt. So, these stocks, even when they look like they're not going to go boom, they eventually go boom, which is why we're sitting and waiting on SNT to do the same thing. Quick mention on our short play from the weekend newsletter, XOMA. You remember this was a classic setup for our shorting strategy. 1, 2, 3-day pop. You know the rule. Right before the close on day 3 of a monster move in a stock, you go short, and then you look to add to that short on a possible gap day 4 in the morning. Target I gave you guys was the 200-day moving average down at 5. I believe in after hours, actually it closed at 475. So, that's a $1.60 short gain in 2 days. Picture perfect. Now, if you've got some risk tolerance, you might want to keep an eye on this one tomorrow, because typically what will happen on these stocks is they'll sell off for a couple of days, find a base, and bounce back. So if you've got some balls and looking for a bounce play, or even if you don't trade this one, watch how this acts, just to follow through on the theory. If it's correct, we should see a bounce tomorrow or Thursday back to the 200-day moving average at 531. So even if you don't trade this one, keep an eye on it for future reference. Now, for tomorrow, if you're able to get short shares, RPRX has done the same thing that XOMA did. Day 1, day 2, here's day 3. Sort of faded into the close today, which is disappointment. If you were able to snag that one, we were talking about it in the chat room, about 375 going into the close. Hopefully it gives another little gap tomorrow. But target on this one would be 275 and under. A breakthrough 3 on the downside, and Splat City. Obvious target on the downside would be the 200-day moving average at 195. Again, even if you don't trade these, stick them on your watch list, monitor them. You don't have to trade to learn. Always be learning. Just because you're not in a trade doesn't mean you should ignore what I'm saying, especially when you see them on the videos here. So that's it for the video tonight. Wow, it's been a long video. Probably I'm missing a couple of stocks, but you guys are probably getting bored of listening to this video. We've got some very nice setups going into tomorrow, particularly like how DEJ, where is that one? How DEJ is setting up for tomorrow, and then our other little plays that we're sitting on. So that's it for the video. Remember, if you've got any questions on any of the plays, shoot me an email or just send me an instant message in the chat room, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.